We've got tips and recipes for healthy living. So for fun and inspiration, come and join us in the raw food world.
All raw foods I've seen on these types of diets. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, avocados, coconuts. So what else have I seen? Steamed vegetables are good. Steamed vegetables. Yeah, seaweeds. I've seen brown rice and beans on these types of diets. These are all okay. I mean, that's a lot of food. One rule that all these diets always say, I know food combining is something people are like, I don't understand it. What is this? The main thing you got to worry about with food combining is animal protein and any type of starch, whether it has gluten or not. You don't want to mix those two together. So either have the animal protein salad, or just a salad, or have grains with the salad or something, or a baked potato. But don't mix the two because that's just a fermentation disaster, which I don't want to really get into. So that's a lot of food. I mean, and the list goes on. That's just the things off the top of my head. You know, there's things like apple cider vinegar that you can use, sauerkraut, but that's a lot of food. I mean, if you could seriously just eat everything that I just mentioned and eliminate everything else from your diet, congratulations.
What fruits?
Fruit, of course, fruit. You did it. You're going to be one of the top 10% of the human population that doesn't need pharmaceutical drugs, doesn't get degenerative diseases, doesn't get conditions, and if you have any conditions, guess what? You're probably going to heal them and things like that. I mean, it sounds pretty simple, basic, and easy, and it is. However, there is another component we got to kind of look into. Detoxification. This is kind of like the deal breaker for a lot of people. People don't even really understand what detoxification truly is. And detox is a very hip thing. Like, you hear about the new detox pill, so everybody starts spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on detox pills, and they eat it, and they're thinking they're detoxing and doing their body good. When essentially, in the long run, nothing's really happening. Now, true deep detoxification occurs when you eliminate a substance or food, something from your intake completely, such as refined sugars or processed starches or whatever. The most extreme would be heroin. Let's say you have the heroin addict, and if you're going to eliminate, have you ever seen one of those movies where they throw a heroin addict into a hospital and they eliminate it completely and force them to abstain from their drug, and they go absolutely crazy, nuts, kicking and screaming? This is detoxification. This is going through withdrawals. For example, you might know someone who eliminates smoking cigarettes, and then they get a headache and they start shaking. It's not a pretty sight, and it's hard for them to quit. Someone eliminates soda or coffee, what happens? Oh, that migraining headache. Detoxification. So, if you think the coffee drinker has it bad, who decides to eliminate their one substance of coffee, when somebody tries to go on a 100% raw food diet overnight, do you realize how many hundreds of substances that you're eliminating? Trans fatty acids, greasy foods, pharmaceutical drugs, alcohol, refined sugars, processed starches. The coffee drinker has it easy. See, a lot of people that get really excited, they hear what the raw foods does, they hear that it helps heal people, they get all excited and they just jump on a 100% raw food diet overnight. And then it hits them kind of like the heroin addict. Toxins are running through their bloodstream. It's like insanity. And they want to do the raw food diet, they want to do what's right, but before they know, they go back to their past food choices. And the reason why this happens is this detox is happening, they eat this, and all of a sudden what that does is it stops the harsh detoxification. So it's like getting their fix. They eat that food, they're like, try raw foods again. It's like kind of like a back and forth thing. And this is one of the reasons why I recommend doing an intermediate, healthy, whole foods diet. Eating those foods that I mentioned, eating whole foods. And if you do, what the difference is, you're eliminating less substances, and the detox is going to be less hardcore. So, for most people, 99% of the people of the population, I recommend doing that. People who go raw, they don't think it works because they get sick, and they think it's bad. But I know many people have succeeded, including me and my wife. So, intermediate healthy whole foods diet is the way to go in most cases. And you can be very healthy and live to a very old age, degenerative disease free on something like that. Now, if you go on an intermediate healthy whole foods diet, you're still eliminating things, most people, like refined sugars, processed starches, caffeine, and stuff like that. And guess what? You're going to detox anyways. It's not going to be as hardcore, but you're going to get sick. And I've seen this happen over and over again. This is pretty inspiring. It's pretty easy to understand, as you can kind of see what I've already discussed. And this talk has inspired hundreds of people to just jump raw overnight. And even though I said it 1,000 times, I try to tell people you're going to get sick. Please understand what's going on here. They get sick, and they go back on the pharmaceutical drugs and eat their past food choices.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again at the Raw Food World.